All right, you amazing fucking Patreons out there. Welcome to the Utah Outcasts Secret Patron Show. We're so happy to have you guys here with us. Whether you're the patron joining us right after watching the regular show that we just finished up, or some person who stuck out the 6-month window to see the show, I, for one, am happy to have you here joining us for this episode. And this week we have picked, and oh my god, we sometimes... Like last week, I think wasn't last week the one where we did the 7 questions for atheists? Yeah, that was last week. Where we got through most of them, but not all of them. I mean, we saved for you guys some of the most savory bullshit that the Christian right can bring to you guys. Savory bullshit. Trademark.
Is it really?
Yes, especially this week because we have Pastor Manning and Alex motherfucking Jones on the same podcast. And like, I don't understand how guys like when you have guys like what is it? Who am I thinking of? Cognitive Dissonance who do the shit every week on the show. It's like, guys, save it. Tom and Cecil, save it for your patron show because you're making guys like us look like assholes for making people pay for it. But god damn it, this is fucking amazing. I mean, you have Alex Jones, the David Icke, life extension technology, they're not even human, kind of stuff. Talking to Pastor Manning, who thinks that the gay people are going to have flames blowing out their assholes. Just, oh my God.
And babies coming out of their testicles.
When you're going to have babies born from the bags of, the homosexuals. You have to do like a slight Gomer Pyle mixed with Fred Sanford. It's amazing. Man. Anyway, letting it play here. Actually,
what's happening, sir? So I got a couple of things, Alex. Walk through how you think they're going to counter-strike this huge global awakening that's happening, sir.
I don't know what he means by global awakening. I honestly don't. But
that doesn't make any sense at all.
No.
Is he talking like Shadowrun styles of like global awakening where magic comes back into being and people become orcs and shit? I don't. Yes, I am that guy. I am the Shadowrun nerd. That's right. Fucking pen and paper RPG for life.
And a couple of things, Alex. I think that we need to be very mindful of a post-Obama era. And one of the things that I've noticed about the recent activities of Obama, number one was that the first of a president to visit some maximum security prisons and to begin to hammer the judges, the Supreme Courts, and the federal courts to release their sentence practices on prisoners and to try to reverse some of the sentences that have already been handed down, given the opportunity for many of these prisoners, people that are in prison that are inculcated with Islam.
Oh, man, he's doubling down on the fucking Islamic Brotherhood shit.
Yes, he is.
Okay, Obama has wanted, he hasn't come out and said specifically that he wants to have marijuana become legally federally because, he's turned a blind eye to that. Because the next president that comes in, Trump specifically, if he came in and he said, okay, we're going to hammer down on marijuana, that's all it would take for like shit to become illegal again. Because you've let states get away with it for a long time, but the federal government could come out against it. Obama, thankfully, has not come out against it. So, and he's talking about, people talking about, oh, God damn it, their terms in prison and everything like that. I'm sure a lot of that has to do with the drug policy that the last couple of presidents have had, where they've like, if you're selling anything, bam, prison time. If you're buying drugs, bam, prison time.
No. Let's be honest.
Okay.
If you're anything other than white.
Oh yeah.
Because
how dare I forget that?
because I have witnessed it personally. I've been in court, waiting to deal with a traffic issue, and I have seen judges just accuse people of color of hardcore drug use, even though that had nothing to do with why they were in front of the judge at that time.
Yep. The thing that I always come back to, especially in when we're talking about cases like that of persons of color being indicted on charges when white people aren't. I used to have a 1968 Chevy Camaro. I mean, not Chevy Camaro. Fuck, not a Camaro. An Impala. Sorry. And so, and it was
dude, we need to talk.
It was a baby blue 327 4-barrel carburetor Edelbrock. Oh man, it was a beautiful car. I really wish I never would have gotten rid of this thing.
I bet you do.
And it was 4-door. It wasn't a hardtop. I really wish I had the hardtop, but it was just a regular 4-door. But like had 2 big ass fucking bench seats in it. God damn it, it was a wonderful car.
Yeah.
And
Buddy in high school had one.
I was going through a weird phase in high school at this time where I didn't want to go anywhere without a long sleeve on. I was always wearing flannel for some grungy weird reason. I don't know what the fuck it was. But anyway, when I got pulled over one time, I used to wear beanies all the time and I had flannel on and I was driving an Impala. So you do the math out here in Utah, especially where we have lots of Mexican people.
Because you don't have brown people in Utah.
No, we don't have any of those. This used to be part of Mexico. I get pulled over and, God damn it, the guy's name was Officer Bernard. And there are people within the Atheists of Utah group that lived out in this area where they're like, yeah, I know that guy. That guy was a dick. If you are an officer and if everybody knows you by name, Officer Bernard, yeah, that guy was an asshole. I get pulled over one time in Clinton, Utah, and we talked about it last episode because this was the same town where the Walmart beatdown happened, where the guy that brought his daughter into the bathroom.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I talked about that, because I used to live out there. And so, when Officer Bernard pulled me over one time for driving this fucking big-ass fucking Impala, and...
Oh, yeah.
I get pulled over, and, he comes to the driver's side of the car and sees that I'm a white guy. He's like, oh, never mind. Have a good day, sir. And, sends me on my way.
Been there. There.
Yeah.
Been there.
So, yeah, they do profile, god damn it, especially in white-bread fucking states like Utah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we're talking Alex Jones and Pastor Manning. What were we talking about here?
Because black men that go to prison learn about Islam. It's very pervasive in the prisons, but also black men that go to prison and white folk, they are very inculcated with the whole idea of hating America. And they already before going to prison to become criminals, they had a warped sense of what is right and what is wrong.
No, they didn't. They probably have decent morality, but they realize that they're in a situation where they can't fucking win.
Well, it doesn't even matter because, what's the podcast? Economic Update. Okay, it's really dry, kind of hard to listen to, but it's done by an economist, and he points out that since most jurisdictions don't, they have a hard time raising taxes in order to get the money to operate the city or the county.
Yeah.
Their solution is, since they can't raise property taxes or whatever, is just to increase the number of traffic-related ticketing, because that's a huge profit center for those jurisdictions, and that's what funds the local government.
Mm-hmm.
They do all kinds of crazy shit, and they put all kinds of restrictions on people simply because, they know they can get money out of them.
Yeah,
and that's the only way.
I've got a brother that's a law enforcement officer who went from being a jail guy to being a beat cop, but he waited until he can actually get into a jurisdiction where he didn't have to write up random fucking traffic tickets. He didn't have to pull people over all the fucking time, where their funding didn't come from that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And so if that's not a scathing fucking review of what we've got for fucking local governments, man, I don't know what is.
There's no... It's a really shitty way to get revenue. Probably unconstitutional.
When's the last time you got a traffic offense, Kyle?
Oh, I don't know, fucking 6 years ago.
And was it like prohibitively expensive, like stupid expensive to get it?
Oh yeah, it was stupid expensive. It was like I had a tail light out kind of thing.
It wasn't a fix-it ticket for that? God damn.
Nah.
My last one was a fucking federal ticket that I got for driving on base with an expired license. I'm stupid.
Oh.
But
you got to get to work though.
Well, I didn't even know. Like, he pulled me over. He's like, "Is there any reason you want to tell me that your license is expired?" I'm like, I just didn't realize that they expire." I'm like, my address hasn't changed. My picture hasn't changed. I'm the same fucking dude. My measurements are the same. Like, you want to check my blood type? I don't know. What the fuck? It's the same goddamn license. Like, what is the difference? But like, that'll be $800 fucking dollars. I'm like, whoa, man, come on. Really?
Well, well, it's like my driver's license. I got my learner's permit in Tennessee, and I have my driver's license here. And the weird thing is, you know, I was 16 when I got my learner's permit. Mm-hmm. Well, when I got my driver's license, all the information from my learner's permit transferred over. Okay, I was not done growing when I got my learner's permit, but I can't get them to understand that now I'm not quite as short as I was back then. Can you make me a little taller, please? You know, I used to be only an inch higher than Tom Cruise. Now I'm like 4 inches taller than Tom Cruise, and I really want people to know that. They don't want to change it.
You know, the really impressive point is that we're like 1 minute, 4 seconds into a 7-minute clip. I know we won't finish with this. God damn it, I know we won't finish with this. But we have to let these two at least say something else because
all right,
warp sense of justice. I'm very concerned now as well that the movie industry has all of a sudden released a remake of the 1970s edition of the 8-segment movie of Roots that stirred the hearts of young men, that sent men to prison in large numbers.
No. What the fuck is he talking about? Roots sent people to prison? What the fuck is he?
No, fuck.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. Nobody knows what he's talking about. It makes sense in his own little warped mind, but what the fuck?
No. I mean, you know.
How is my name is Kunta Kinte be like, no, your name is Toby? Like, somehow make it to fucking getting more guys in prison.
No. And you know, where I grew up, most people didn't watch Roots because they were
black
white.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, oh God, it's just.
Oh man,
you know,
LeVar Burton was amazing in the original. God damn.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that just makes you want to pound your head into the desk while screaming, "Make it stop, Daddy! Make it stop!"
And that's exactly why we saved this fucking video clip for this part here.
As a documentary declaring that it was authentic, demonstrating the horrific or alleged horrific events that happened to black people with the slave trade.
It did happen. This is documented. It's real.
Damn.
Well, it's not even, nobody claimed it was a documentary.
No.
And I have read firsthand accounts of people who dealt with things like that. There is no alleged about any of it. Slavery in the U.S. was more horrific than you or I can imagine. And, God,
yeah, you take 12 years a slave and times it by like 1,000, and you're still not even close.
God, there was a Nova. It was some PBS program where they were dealing with. They found a slave graveyard in New York that dated from the 1600s, and you know.
Oh wait, what are you talking about, Tucker? This country didn't exist until 1776.
Yeah. You know, and they say, "Oh no, people took care of their slaves because they were valuable property." One of the things that just it you know, because up until this point, my idea of slavery was what you saw in Gone with the Wind, which was, I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. I'm out of here. That was pretty much it. But they had this they had the skull of a woman, and you know, I forget how old she was. They could figure out the age from the skull, you know, to within a couple of years. And she had been forced to carry a load on her head that was so heavy, it caused her skull to compress down onto her spinal column, and she spent 3 days dying a slow, agonizing death. There was another skeleton that they found where it was a man, and he'd broken his femur, but they could tell from the way that the fracture had healed, he'd been forced to keep walking on his broken leg.
Sounds like my wife.
And you know, it's just, oh God, the people who say that slavery was somehow in any way
less than horrific.
Yeah, just irritate the fuck out of me. And that's not even getting into the things that we can't know about, because, you know, they weren't, you know, every incident of rape or, you know,
stuff that doesn't show up in archaeological records. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't show up. And it's, and if you read the accounts of even progressive whites during the, you know, the Civil War era, they were racist, brutally racist by modern times, and these are the people who were trying to free the slaves.
Yeah, and especially since I think this week, I think we celebrated Dred Scott's, at least the end of his first case that he had, if I remember time right here. I could be. I'm probably completely fucking wrong because I listen to shit in different order than other people do on podcasts. But let's get back to Pastor Manning, because he is a person of color who just tried to say that Roots was a documentary. Man, just God.
That was inaccurate somehow.
I'm waiting for Alex Jones to come back into this, because that's when the magic happens. Because
there was lizard people.
Because Pastor Manning, is crazy as fuck as it is, but he gets a force multiplier when it comes to Alex Jones coming in here. Like, he gets quad damage when he shows back up.
Most of the slave trade went on in Africa with blacks on blacks. That haven't been said. That I see a storm.
He just apologized for white slavery by saying that most of it was because of black on black slavery. Yes, he that happened. But the thing is that unless there were people willing to buy at this end, that market would not have fucking existed.
And let's not forget that the Europeans, et cetera, were willing to pay far more than, you know, the locals in Africa for slaves.
Man.
I'm coming with the releasing of Roots.
Oh, the media is hyping race war 24/7 everywhere.
Yeah.
And no one's defending.
Oh, God.
They're agreeing with each other. God damn it, that's agreeing with each other.
God.
The stupid is multiplying, people.
Race wars.
I'm old enough to remember when people were expecting there to be a race war in the 70s.
Man.
Yeah.
And we see how that happened.
I still remember my dad telling me that he was at the fucking, like, the integration of schools thing in Arkansas, where he was one of the guys protesting against it, you know?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's not a bright portion of my dad's history, but, you know, but the thing is, like, he can at least tell you a good story of it. I really do need to call him and have him on the show one of these times, because first he needs to know that I am an atheist, and he doesn't know that yet. Be like, I feel like that's the smallest hurdle I need to get over. Be like, so tell me about you being a racist in Arkansas, Dad. Tell me about that. And how joining the military was the best thing for you.
Defending European slavery, but exactly, no one talks about that. Everybody's done it. It's wrong. It's evil. Humans are wicked. We should repent, but they are just hyping it. What's going on?
Well, I think that we're going to see the release of a lot of prisoners, and I think that most Americans are locked and loaded and ready to deal with whatever come down.
I was
the
about to
pipe.
ask you, what do you think this move by Obama? Because obviously there's a lot of
locked and loaded and ready for whatever. What?
Yeah, we just gonna shoot people randomly.
We gonna
'cause
shoot
that's
all
how
them
we do things
niggers
in America.
God,
Man.
the way they're talking about it, you think they're like opening a floodgate on penitentiaries, and the brown and black people are just going to come floating out and destroy everything.
Well, it's like when with the Arab Spring in Egypt, the government released all the prisoners because they figured, well, that'll cause so many problems that it'll stop this shit. But nobody's saying randomly release people. They're talking about saying, hey, let's get rid of some of these drug laws and turn people loose who are in jail just simply because they had some pot on them.
I love that I've officially broken Tucker for this episode. The guy that keeps it together for reading fucking books from antiquity just loses it. Oh man, I love having you on the show.
Violent people in prison should be let out. But what about this push to let violent felons out? What's behind that?
Because I think that he wants to return to a period of the 1960s, the 60s and the 70s, where the Black Panthers, with the Mau Maus, and where.
What the fuck is he talking?
I have to point out somebody raised, and I don't remember who it was. They wrote an article, and they said, we really. Dr. Martin Luther King couldn't have been who he was if it wasn't for people like Malcolm X saying, well, we're just going to kill white people.
And that's the atheist Dave Silverman stuff going on right now, where he's like, look, I'm the Malcolm X, and people like David Smalley are the Martin Luther King for this kind of thing.
Right. Because, people realized, well, we're going to have to deal with this whole racial thing. Who do we talk to? Do we talk to this guy who seems really scary? Or do we talk to this guy who doesn't seem so scary? And, in all honesty, if you read what Malcolm X said, most of the time, the guy was really sensible, but if you're a racist who thinks black people are somehow subhuman, he'll scare the shit out of you. But if you're a sane human being, you're like, no, he actually makes a good point. Like, one of the things he says is, people are upset about black people buying guns. White people have been buying guns for centuries, and that's not seen as a problem.
It's amazing, really, especially when I think about the Satanic Temple thing that happened with me this week.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same kind of thing.
Be like, all of a sudden, you have a problem with it.
All of a sudden, it's a problem.
It's a problem. God damn it, X. How dare you try to make friends with people?
Like liberation groups, if you will, were very prevalent. That mindset is still locked away in prison. What you have today with the rappers, young black men that are rappers and wear their pants below their butts, they don't have that kind of mindset and hatred against America. I think that Obama's setting up preachers to come back from the community, from the prisons, and reignite the communities. And I would say anybody living within 100 to 150 miles of a major urban area need to get prepared to see the rioting. If anything goes amiss or awry with Obama, or somehow another Obama or something done to Obama's political ideas, such as the removal of Obamacare. I mean, listen, Alex, if Trump or anyone else were to take down Obamacare and it effectively goes away, you can see these people coming from prison now training young men who now wear their pants below their butts, rapping but really having no teeth. Now,
okay, Pastor Manning, you are gay. You are obviously fucking gay.
Also fucking bingo.
Yeah. God damn it, that is the second time in a minute that you have brought up pants below asses and be like, I can't wait to spread them cheeks and just, put my dick into that cherry hole. Be like, you are so obviously flamboyantly gay that you are repressing it so goddamn hard, and it makes me so sad. It makes me so goddamn sad.
I don't understand how you can get to guys with pants below their asses to Obamacare. That doesn't make any
don't know
sense.
how that works.
Yeah, well, don't forget they started with Roots.
Yeah,
Right.
It came
So
in with
you
LeVar
go
Burton
from
and Roots.
to Obamacare, and it's like, and I wish I could remember what it was, but somebody, I know what it was. Somebody said that, they were making some kind of protest, and they were like, well, there was no racism over the whole, Black Lives Matter movement. Those people were treated better than Trump supporters. And it's like, I want to hand out guns in the project saying, here, go kill Whitey. Fucking go kill Whitey. And shit like that. It's like, no. God damn. Can you people not understand this shit? No. It's simple.
Oh, man. He has like 3 minutes to go. I know we're not going to finish up with this. Let's let them get to at least their next segment of, place where we can stop and be like, God damn it, what the fuck are you talking about? So let's go.
All right.
And to look like the 60s, the mid-60s, and the early 70s when it comes
so
to
the Viacom CIA-run weapon system is activated by Beyonce's and all the rest of the folks to, say, go out and kill the pigs.
Yeah, so but not just pigs, but people that are part. For instance, if you are a part of the whole idea of
Sure, and that'll cause a giant counter-oppression of black people just trying to, live the American dream.
Absolutely. So I cannot imagine
these guys are agreeing with each other.
Going to take place. I can't see how it. I don't think Obama would have gone to the prisons unless he wanted to indicate to judges everywhere. And most of the federal and state judges are very liberal. And if Obama says that the penal system has been oppressive, you're going to see cases coming back before the courts. You're going to see parole officers releasing people who normally would be kept in prison.
And they're going to make room for the libertarians, the patriots, the Christians, who they're now throwing the book at as the new enemy.
Absolutely.
Libertarians.
So we need to be very mindful of this. And we need to be mindful of this catalyst now being released.
I'm going to let him finish because this is so fucking insane. Oh my God. The Viacom CIA. What the fuck was that?
What?
Roots presentation. It's not good, Alex. It's not good for America.
And we have new listeners that the Justice Department announced last month that they're moving to basically tell judges and others, we're going to prosecute you or come after prosecutors if you don't let people off or let folks out of prison. And again, these are mainly violent folks they're talking about. I'm all for letting non-violent people out, but no, they're saying, period, just start letting people out.
Absolutely. Because I think Obama wants to have a different kind of a brown shirts, if you remember that, from back in 2008, 2009, militia, rather than what would have been what the initial idea of brown shirts all about. I can't imagine Obama walking away from power, Alex. I can't imagine. I've told you this 8 years ago.
So you think letting the prisoners out like the Soviets?
Oh my God, he's been waiting to fucking get rid of the presidency.
Oh, God.
Ever since he won re-election, he's like, I'm done. Guys, I'm fucking done. I can't do this shit anymore. You guys are not working with me. I'm so tired of this shit.
Well, I can remember people saying, oh, I'm worried Clinton's going to pull a whole FEMA thing and, then he's going to say we can't have elections and Clinton's going to be president for life.
I had two of you guys face palming at the same goddamn time. That's amazing. We have all three of us.
I shouldn't even be doing that with a country bumpkin accent because the guy who was saying that to me has a master's degree.
Man, God.
But no, I can remember, everybody was terrified that Bill Clinton would pull some kind. He would use HAARP to pull some kind of weather thing that would cause some kind of damage and all this shit. And then the FEMA stuff and oh God, it makes my head hurt. By the way, man. I need to point this out. the EU has their own version of HARP in fucking Norway, and nobody talks about it. Nobody gets their panties in a bunch, but it's the same size. It's the same kind of shit. You know, a bunch of little antennas that can, you know, heat up the ionosphere and all that other crap. But fucking A, nobody cares about that. It's all about HARP in Alaska, which has been shut down because, well, the government learned everything they needed to learn, and they're moving to a new version of the project.
Can we have more people with skeptical fucking thinking doing this talk? Can we please? Instead of immediately believing this shit, be like, you know, there's been talk of this, but we have not seen any evidence of it.
And it's Alex Jones, and you know somehow the lizard aliens have to figure into it.
You know, the guys from Cognitive Dissonance have been reading fucking David Icke's recent book. Well, I shouldn't say his recent book, but his first book. And they've been reviewing it on the show, and they're like, Chapter 2 is like where they bring up the fucking reptilian aliens. And they're like, I don't know if I can do this shit, man. I don't know if we're going to make it through the whole fucking book. God. Which makes me wish, I think we need to have a Utah Outcasts book that we're reading at the same time. Some fucking book club. I don't know what it would be, but
oh God. And
and Tucker, you went through the whole fucking book of, I can't remember the name of the title of it, but you went through every fucking chapter of this, including the footnotes.
Bible myths and their parallels in other religions. I can't find it. It's not here. I mean, I have a copy of. Wait. Actually, here it is. Let me hold this up. Okay, unconventional flying objects, right? Crazy. In some ways, it's a crazy-ass book. This is written by a NASA engineer who believed in alien spacecraft, right? But he looked at it. But the thing is he looked at it from a scientific point of view, and he says, okay, well, this person, you know, saw this alien spacecraft. It went here, it went there, it did this. He says, let's work out the math and all this stuff about
how it could have done this. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it's fascinating because it's like, okay, well, if somebody's going to do, you know, be flying at 300 miles an hour and do a right angle turn, this is how many G-forces they're going to have. So
you would have to have some sort of damper field that would keep you from turning to jelly. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, he still thinks there's, you know, space aliens, but it's worth paying attention to because at least he gives you ideas about all these things. And, you know, you can say, okay, if they saw what they saw, it had to be something unmanned, or there actually were aliens, or, you know, they were lying.
Yeah.
But it stimulates thinking processes, and like a couple of the things that he was researching, he's like, okay, well, it was this and this, and they're like, hey, we could actually use part of this for designing certain elements of like the you know, the jetpack that they had for the shuttle program.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it starts out from a crazy source, but it gives them information about things that actually work and don't work. And so
I'm trying not to pay attention to the video, but Fuzznutz is using like a fucking mustache this whole time.
I know. But my point is that guy had, you know, even though he believed in space aliens, he had enough, you know, sense to say, how could this possibly have worked? And, you know, and there are a couple of things he's like, you know, okay, whatever these people are saying, this is what was going to happen. So either, you know, the passengers would turn to jelly, or there were no passengers.
Yeah.
Or they had, you know, inertial dampeners or whatever. But it stimulates thought, unlike, you know, people just saying, well, there's space aliens and they're going to, you know, harvest our organs and sell them to, you know, the people from Jupiter or whatever. And, you know, and he doesn't make any conclusions that, well, these things are real or whatever. But it's, you know, it's like a random idea generator to get people to think.
At least he's trying to go at that with an analytical mind, not just
Yeah.
not just this is what happened, this is what I believe. He's at least going. Look. If something was to do this, it would require this scientifically.
Exactly. Which is
in like 180 degree stark contrast to what Alex Jones and Pastor Manning are talking about here.
Yeah.
Like, even if you said Jews did WTC 7, you'd like, God damn it, you guys.
God, that's less crazy than what they're vomiting out right now.
Yeah, and I'm super past 2 sheets, so I don't even fucking follow what they're saying.
No,
and they've got a minute and a half to go, and I'm honestly, I know it's become passe. Play it. Okay.
When the Nazis took over, they released all the people out of the prisons that were aligned with the National Socialists, hundreds of thousands of them, and put them in charge.
Listen, when Castro released the prisoners during the Mariel boat lift from Cuba, they all flooded into Miami, into Florida, and then across over to Texas. That was the real start of the major drug problems in America.
God damn it. God, how the fuck is Miami close to Texas? Oh, holy shit. It takes a guy from New York to fucking not understand how U.S. geography fucking works. Miami is so goddamn far from Texas, it's not even funny.
Oh my fucking God. Obviously, they've never been to Texas because Texas is a big-ass fucking state.
It's gigantic fucking state, but at the same time, like, Miami, down here on the map, fucking Texas starts way the fuck over here.
Look,
it's like 2/3 of the arc of Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, if you're coming from Cuba and you want to get to Texas, you
get onto the land and you travel by train.
You go this way. You just go across the Gulf.
You don't boat person yourself to fucking Corpus Christi, man. It does not fucking work that way.
No, I mean, Florida is 90 miles away from Cuba. That's where you're going.
Oh my God.
And many of them were psychopaths that came out of the prisons in Cuba. So I think that what we see happening, Alex, I just can't imagine Obama walking away from power and riding off into the sunset when he knows right now he's got the courts, he's got the...
Obama wants nothing more than to finish his term and ride off into the sunset. He's like, I'm fucking done. I've gotten everything I could possibly get out of this role. Be like, y'all are fucked. I don't care about this shit anymore. Oh my gosh.
Supreme Court, he's got the judges, he's got the politicians, he's got the media in his hands. Why should he walk away and say, well, I had my 8 years, I
agree with you. He might try something. They're so bold. Who knows?
He's going to try something. No, he's going to. No, he's already put it in the works. I mean, remember, Obama is CIA.
I'm glad we let this finish because holy shit.
But his mother, had a party, and some right or some leftist activist in the late '60s showed up, and that means Obama's a plant from the Weather Underground or the Symbionese Liberation.
But he's CIA and he's a secret Muslim communist. This is what we're fighting against. They don't have any proof of this shit at all. But yet we're expected to make fucking cogent arguments against this shit. Even drunk, I can't even fucking come up with a decent argument against this.
There is no decent argument against this.
It's silly as shit.
This is virtual. This is the virtual pigeon shitting on the checkerboard.
Knocking over all the pieces and saying I fucking won.
Fight it. You don't. There's.
This is like sending Voldemort against Darth Vader.
Oh God, my chest hurts. I've laughed so hard.
I mean, yeah, like totally Darth Vader could beat Voldemort because Darth Vader has the Force. And what does Voldemort have? Well, totally
I'm going
nothing.
even nerdier than that. I'm saying it's Batman versus fucking Darth Vader.
That he is a compadre.
His whole family,
Yeah, he's a compadre with Putin and Russia. He's not going to walk away from world power. He just isn't going to do. And anybody who thinks that he does, now I'm all for Trump. And you know I am. I'm all in on Trump. But anybody who thinks that Obama's going to walk away from power, you're not thinking. You're just not thinking.
Let me play this.
Oh my God, we've reached the end.
He's
compadres with Putin. That's why Putin has threatened us so many goddamn times.
Well, and that's why Putin has said he admires Donald Trump so much.
Oh my God, I'm gonna pee my pants. I'm laughing so hard.
I know. It's
awful. This is definitely worth the extra buck. Fucking people can chip in every fucking episode. We've got 41 minutes. God damn it, this is the longest Patron show and Kyle's dead.
Look, the checkers are on the floor, and there's pigeon shit all over the board here.
Oh, God.
Okay.
This
Are
is the
you
point where
kidding me? The pigeons are fucking the checkers at this point.
King me, bitch. King me.
They're pumping the shit out of them.
Oh, my God.
I'm pretty sure there's one pigeon who's managed to get into the chess set and has fashioned some kind of strap-on with a pawn.
Exactly. I mean, this is...
Okay, I have to pretend to be host here for a minute. We're gonna cut this off here because God damn it, it's 42 minutes and it's the best fucking Patron episode ever. So thanks to Tucker for coming out. Thanks to Kyle for coming out. We're all gonna go to fucking bed because I don't. This is ridiculous.
We're gonna have nightmares of pigeons pegging checkers.
Okay, patrons, you've had a good episode. We'll catch you again next week with another one. Talk to you guys later. See ya.